So she asks, how do you recommend getting through genealogies, right? So the Gospel of Matthew opens with a genealogy. You find a ton of genealogies in Genesis and whatnot. And is there any shame in like skipping through it? First of all, no. I don't think there's any shame in every time you encounter a genealogy, you don't have to read every single name. I sometimes like to read them out loud just to see how badly I butcher the names, you know? But really, it's more about when you encounter a genealogy, asking the question, like, why is this here? How does this part fit into the whole? Let's use the opening of the Gospel of Matthew, for example. Matthew starts his gospel, right? We're talking about how the Bible is one story that all leads to Jesus. And Matthew, the first gospel, the first time Jesus comes onto the scene, Matthew starts with a genealogy. That's not how you capture your audience's attention, okay? So why would he choose to do that? Well, we look at some of the names in the genealogy. We see names like Abraham. We see names like Isaac. We see names like Jacob. Who is Jacob? Jacob was known as a deceiver. Jacob was the father of the nation of Israel. Jacob, just like Solomon, did some incredible things, but he also stole his brother's birthright. He also was a deceiver and dishonest. This broken, sometimes good, sometimes bad individual. Who else appears? Let's see. King David. Jesse, the father of King David. Who was King David? One of the greatest kings that the nation of Israel ever knew. We refer to him as a man after God's own heart. Also a man who slept with another man's wife and conspired to have her husband killed. A broken, messed up individual. Who else? We have Uriah. Uriah, the wife of the man. Because here's the thing, David, he had many different wives. So Uriah, this affair, it didn't have to be the person through whom God chose to bring about Jesus, because that's what we're going to. But through this affair that David had with Uriah's wife, Bathsheba, who was their son? Solomon. And then we get down to Jesus by the end of it. So what we see through this genealogy, it's not necessarily about knowing exactly who every single person is, but one of the things we can pull from this genealogy is that God used these broken, messed up people, and through them he still brought about the Savior of the world. So it's not an accident. It's not just because Matthew doesn't know how to engage an audience that he would start this way. But actually what Matthew is doing for you is the part that you're about to hear with Jesus. By starting with Abraham and going all the way to Jesus, he's putting this part into the whole for you. Does that make sense?